Hey there, YouTube. It's JT Picks, and today I have David Livick with me, the legend, and we're just going to be talking about CHH. What do you think so far, like about the year, right? Because I know it's been a bigger year with like everything that's happened with Kendrick and whatever. I want to see what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Kendrick stuff was massive. I guess I talked about it in the in my comeback video, but yeah, I thought it was a really good look, and just like the way that it was presented. Kendrick saw positive, godly attribute. Yeah, what else has happened this year? I guess there's the usual kind of dramas and stuff, but there's been like a lot
Yeah.
of good music that's came out this year. Admittedly, I'm like just getting in the mix again. I've been more passively, um, listening to Christian hip hop, but the last couple of weeks, I've been listening to smaller playlists on Spotify to try and find underrated artists and stuff. So like I'm a bit more connected to Christian hip hop now. But yeah, obviously we've had a lot of even just in the last day or so with like even like Jackie Hill Perry signing and stuff. That's pretty massive.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
crazy. That was really crazy.
yeah, I was kind of out of the loop a little bit, so I just saw it pop up a couple of days later when it happened. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
wild. A lot of great albums this year. What about you? What is?
So I'm not gonna, like fake, right, and say like, "Oh, this year's been massive," because I was DMing and talking with a friend and we were like, I said that the year's kind of dry for
Really?
CHH. I know that sounds crazy, so I'm going to clarify my statement there, and I hope he's going to watch this. When I said the year was kind of dry, I'm not like saying like we're lacking in projects or that not enough is happening in the space, because there is a lot happening in the space and there have been a lot of projects. But I think what I meant was like earlier in the year, I was expecting a huge influx of quality content. Like at the beginning of the year, we got 1K Fuse album with Zaytoven, Swoop's project, which so far, like Tory's might be tied with him, but so far Swoop has the album of the year. And we had Not Clyde, all in like the span of 2 weeks. So I'm like thinking, wow, if we're getting this early in the year, like we're going to be seeing so many like top-notch albums. It's going to be like 2017 again. I'm spoiled with 2017. I literally just made a video on like my top 10 CHH albums of all time, and like quite a few of them are from the year 2017. It's
Yeah.
crazy how like I got into the year where we just got like Magic and Bird, All Things Work Together, We Belong by Gavi, Today We Rebel by KB, all in 1 year, and that's just like crazy. And so I was expecting that kind of influx this year, and we didn't get that because after those three albums dropped, then there was this huge space where, yeah, we had like things like the Kendrick shout out and a few other albums here and there. But honestly, like this year has seemed drier than what I thought it was going to originally be.
Yeah, things have started to heat up a bit again. Was
They
that
have.
1K Few project this year?
That was the beginning of this year, literally like January, I think. The singles were dropping December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think KB's album was last year.
That was last year.
The deluxe come out early this year, I think.
I think, yeah, you're right. That was early this year. But unpopular opinion, I don't absolutely love the deluxe. My favorite part of the deluxe was It Ain't Safe, but I liked it when it had that CC Winans. Do you know who CC Winans is?
No.
She's a gospel singer, but it
Oh, yeah.
had a sample of like her singing I Surrender All at the beginning of it,
Yeah.
and that sample was only up for like 1 day because literally the next day or like the next 2 days after, the sample was scrubbed. You can only find it on YouTube in like 2 or 3 videos where somebody uploaded the original sample. And I was like, KB, why'd you remove the sample? It actually made the song like that much better, that little 5 second sample. And he removed it. And so, like,
Must
I
be
don't know. I just
copyright.
don't love the deluxe. Probably. Or maybe CC's team didn't approve of it, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But
You think
I
they would
really
have
wish
that way?
KB would tell us. Yeah, I mean, the way, like, even just artists pull down their music, like, tell us. Tell the fans what you're gonna do. If you're gonna remove something, tell your listeners, like, why you're removing it. So at least they understand. Don't just try and scrub it like we don't know. For example, like, Henrik. Do you know who Henrik is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he literally 2 days ago removed Poster Child, his punk album, from streaming services. It's gone.
Really?
And Adrian Stresso, who you put me on Adrian Stresso, by the way, and I've loved Adrian Stresso since. He removed At Least I Tried. I think it was earlier this year or late last year. And it's like, artists don't tell us these things, and then it's like, well, at least give me a chance to buy it so it can be mine, right? Like, if you're thinking of scrubbing something, I want to know. I want it. It's frustrating. Christian Brading did that with his EP. Jude Barkley did that with a bunch of his older singles. It's just
I
crazy.
did notice that, yeah, on one of my playlists, just on my car playlist, saw some Jude Barclay songs, like not available anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that
and
happens too often.
Ty Brazel, one of his, one of my favorite projects from him, he took that off streaming as well.
Which
The
one?
1994 until,
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
think.
yeah. That one. Which one? Backyard.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember I was upset when that went gone. Because
yeah.
that
It's
was
like,
another one that I remember. Like, you put me on Ty Brazel too. Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of stuff you put me on.
like yeah, I had to go and watch Mr. Galaxy's channel, if you remember him.
Yeah,
He uploads like songs and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, they're up on there, so I had to listen on there.
yeah. That's
Yeah, I
the
don't
local
know.
files are for that.
Yeah,
I use I use those for nowadays. I look to Finding Sounds. Do you know that YouTube channel?
finding
I
sound.
Yeah, I
No.
speak with the owner of that channel often on Instagram. His name is Sean. He's a really cool guy. Shout out Finding Sounds. But yeah, so just I feel like artists should tell the listeners when they're doing stuff like that before, like, hey, I'm gonna take down this project. Maybe buy.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see the downside of that either. You know, like, they make a few bucks off of you possibly buying it, and then they can scrub it from their streaming. The DSPs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess that'd have different reasons. I mean, copyright infringement seems to be a big part of the younger crop of artists at the moment. Like,
It's because sampling's been big for a while, it
yeah.
seems.
Or there's sampling, and then there's just like ripping it off.
Yeah,
Like
I get what you mean. Like
that
with Caleb
whole,
Gordon and the
yeah,
and the when he did the covers of Jack Harlow's First Class or whatever.
yeah. Like
Because that one off.
you can't legally, I don't think, just put that on streaming like that. Especially if
Yeah.
it's the same, like exact same instrumental. Yeah, I mean he seems to put it up and then kind of have to make a deal with the labels already afterwards. Seems to get around it, like with that the war song he came out with. It got taken down and then it's back up recently.
They did that with Cheeseburger. Do you know that one where he sampled Veggie Tales? And they took it down, and I was so upset. That was in my top 100 of the year. And I
That
don't.
Caleb Gordon song.
Yep, yep. They
Oh
took
yeah,
down that and an entire EP, but the EP was full of, like, his covers of secular songs and whatnot. So I
no,
understand that one, but I don't understand Cheeseburger being taken down. So yeah,
yeah. But yeah, you can't, like, it's one thing to put it up on YouTube or Instagram and say it's a remix or something like that. But
yeah.
when you're putting it on streaming and stuff, it's
You're making money off of it.
yeah, it's getting a bit dicey, eh? and like think who were some other people on that list, that was on Twitter, the playlist of Christian
Um,
rappers, copying mainstream. Like, there's an artist that I've kind of been slightly familiar with. I think their name is Red Tips.
I know who Red Tips is with
Yeah,
he's got the Fiend cover, the Christian
I
Fiend. He
I like
calls it.
I was like
Yeah,
astonished
how's he
at
getting
how,
away with this?
yeah, like same flows, like literally everything, same instrumental. Yeah,
Yeah.
to me that's just a little lazy. I get it
Mm-hmm.
if you put it on YouTube and say Christian Fiend remix,
Yeah.
but if you like change the name and put it on Spotify, I feel like,
Yeah. He called it Big God. It's like it was an
yeah,
original song. Although I got love for Red Tips. So
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I don't hate the guy. I just think it's just a
A
little
little bit, a little
irresponsible.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I want to ask you this. So I saw your video the other day, right, where you showed that list of the top 25 Christian rappers, right? And
yeah.
I know that wasn't your
Wasn't
personal
my
list.
list. Wasn't my list.
And I know that you also think the best rapper of this year is No Big Deal, right?
Yeah.
Because you said that. So what I'm wondering is though, of like all time, if you had to do a list like your top favorite Christian rappers, who would be in your? I'm not gonna make it too big, so top three.
Well, I feel like Lecrae's kind of the LeBron of Christian hip hop. Like he's got
Of
a
course.
lot of longevity. So I probably have to put him up there. I probably have to look through my playlists. Yeah, I don't want to be kind of captured by the moment either. Like I loved
Yeah,
No Big Deal this year. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. The people we become, that album kind of let me down. Not gonna lie.
really?
Just a little bit. Yeah, I
Oh man.
liked a lot of the singles he was releasing, but I don't know. That album, like, it didn't do it for me. Neither did
That's,
the reimagined version of it. It hasn't been in my rotation, except for the track with 350.
I was kind of the opposite. I wasn't that into the singles being released before it, and then I liked the
Hmm.
album.
So then
But
I think that has to do more with just personal taste. Which I think that goes for, just the subjectivity of music. Because I think objectively it's a good album. Subjectively, I don't really like it.
yeah,
But.
yeah, like I'll probably have Lecrae in there. Um, maybe Andy Mineo. Maybe honestly, I've 1K Few has been in a lot of
Again with
like
the
some.
balloons, this happened when I was recording with Spiritual Lemonade. But you're two for two. Lecrae and Andy Mineo belong in the top three. I don't
Yeah, I
care
mean,
what you
like if you're
say.
just
That's
going based off like legacy and stuff, I mean, the kind of big three that I came into Christian hip hop listening to would be
Mhm.
Lecrae, Andy Mineo, and Trip Lee.
Okay. I don't know
Yeah,
about the Trip one, but
I
okay.
love Trip Lee, especially his Rise album when I was
Mm. Oh yeah, that's a top 10 right there.
yeah. But yeah, there'd probably be a few, Big Deal, 1K Few, Holby. There's probably someone obvious. I'd really like, well,
KB?
I
Yeah.
honestly, I love KB, but I'm not as onto the worship um
I feel you. I
kind
feel you.
of remix rap. It's
I
just
feel you.
not
I
my
feel you.
thing. I mean, I'm a little more like into more hip hop rap. I mean, I don't mind crossovers, but yeah, I'm not that into like CCM sound or like Christian radio
Yeah.
music.
That's
So
what I grew up on.
KB
So,
does quite a bit of that.
especially nowadays he does.
Yeah, and Holvey does that quite a bit. Obviously they find success there. But like I enjoy the more rapping, rapping. It doesn't have to be like lyricist type rap, but
Yeah.
you know, trap sounding, more than
So
pop.
I think actually that brings this question that just came to my mind. What do you think then? Because I'm sure you've heard of him. Forced Frank. Do you think he qualifies as hip hop?
No, no, he wouldn't be hip hop.
Yeah, there have been some people who are like, he belongs in CHH. No, he's not
No,
a he's
no.
not a hip hop artist. He's almost a radio guy. I mean, the industry's been backing him like he's a radio dude, right? He's been all
Oh,
over the radio.
he's definitely Christian. I know CCM kind of, maybe just add in a few different genres that he mixes in, but there might be a few hip hop elements to some of the beats sometimes and
Yeah.
stuff. But I mean, he's singing most of the time, and yeah, I have nothing against him. I like the song he did with No Big Deal, and I know he did one with Caleb Gordon and Holvey as well. But yeah, I think he's a good artist. I wouldn't say he's hip hop though, but
Yeah.
I definitely
Because
wouldn't.
I'd just say that he just likes to do, lots of collabs with hip hop artists. But he himself
Yeah,
is not hip hop. Toby
no.
Mac's more hip hop than him.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
dude, I felt that doing that list, like I just fully based it off that ranking website, which
Yeah.
had over 10,000 votes. So it was I I only read like a few comments because I knew what most of them would be, and I just
About like NF as one.
either complaining about NF or why isn't this artist on here? It's a good list, but it's a bit outdated. I probably agree with that. That being
Yeah.
said, though, like I think, especially younger fans, they might be too caught up in the last kind of 3 years and forget that there's been like a big legacy of Christian hip hop, before this. So like even
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm fairly new. I mean, maybe last 8 or 9 years. Um, when I first got into Christian hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some artists, before I was listening to that I actually quite liked the music. Like looking back at it, um, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
like Toby Mac. I mean, even though like nowadays, right? He's like pop. He's radio. He's Christian CCM. But in his younger days, he definitely leaned more towards hip hop. And even though he never was like rapping like Lecrae would or something, he was rhyming and doing it in a faster way than singing. So it technically was rap, but he did more and kind of focused on it a little bit more, especially during his first few albums, like Welcome to Diverse City. I don't know if you know that one. He's got some great
No.
tracks there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
aware that he had a history kind of near the start of Christian hip hop. Yeah, like if I, had my own list, he wouldn't have been on there. Um,
yeah,
I
I
probably
agree.
I probably wouldn't have had NF either, but it was on the list on the ranking website, and it was a little provocative, I guess, as well. But yeah,
And NF just like that one's still like okay, I hate to be the person who says that NF isn't a Christian rapper. He's a rapper who's a Christian, but I would like barely. I mean, the last Christian song that NF had was I'll Hold On from Mansion.
yeah. I mean, I guess if you're like a NF Christian apologist, maybe you could say like "Oh Lord" or something
Oh,
from.
or Oh Lord. No,
Was that is
I
that
was
from
wrong. Oh
Therapy
Lord.
Session? I think.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I forgot about that one for a second. And
But
I
yeah,
guess you could say that like his music even till today carries very minute Christian themes in it. For example, I don't know if you've heard his latest album, Happy. He's like, "Dear God, please."
Oh,
Hear
okay.
me out, I know it's been a couple years. So I guess it could be seen like as him talking to God in a few songs. But even then, it's just like, so like, I hate to say it like this, but even the demons acknowledge God. So I mean, like, him just like briefly mentioning God's name doesn't make it like a Christian like Lecrae song or something like
No.
that. So I mean, he's in his own lane. There's Lecrae, and then
Yeah.
there's NF. So I
Yeah,
mean,
like
that's just how I feel.
I did listen to the album probably only like 2 or 3 times. I mean, I'm not as into NF as I was, back, in the 2017 glory days. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like there's more of an argument of if he's even a Christian anymore than if he's a Christian
Yeah,
rapper.
I
Um,
agree.
not to be like you know, trying to,
Judgmental.
yeah,
We're
judge
not trying to
someone.
be that. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's
I
pretty
gotcha.
private, so who knows where he's at. I mean, imagine with how isolated he seems to be, and just being in the mainstream now, then you could probably assume that he's drifted away a bit.
I mean,
Yeah,
apparently that happens to the best of us, right? Because I mean,
yeah,
even Lecrae, he's done his podcasts are so good to listen to, but he's said like 2017 when he started getting into the mainstream world and Columbia started pushing him to those other artists, like he was in a bad spot, and that's what all of the new albums really are about: restoration, the one that's going to come up, reconstruction. Even CC4 had themes about that on the songs like deconstruction or journey. But yeah, the mainstream world really, it can pull you away from God easy. So if it did that to Lecrae, I don't doubt it has done that or has tried, if NF still claims Jesus, if it has done that to him. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be
That's,
surprised either. But yeah, I listened to that same podcast you're referencing as well with Lecrae. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But
I think it's great. I love that podcast. It's like the only one I listen to. I don't like podcasts, but I
really,
just find listen. Yeah, I know it's weird, but I just like, I don't know, listening to Lecrae. I mean, being honest, full transparency, there was a while a few weeks ago where I wasn't listening to like any of Lecrae's podcast, so I missed like 3 or 4 episodes. But when the whole thing right before Lecrae had released the single "Lift Me Up," then I started to listen to them again.
yeah.
So yeah.
Do you watch any Ruslan
Oh,
videos or podcasts?
Ruslan is another like 50-50. I watch some of his stuff, but not a lot of it. Like, and I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, he
obviously,
puts out
I
a
got the
lot.
juice. I know he's a content cranking machine. It's inspiring. He's just constantly coo 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 and like content. I don't know how he does. I mean, he has a team behind him, obviously. We don't.
Yeah, oh, man,
But
like
yeah,
back in 2017, I think I had more subs than him, and now he's got like 600K and 200K on another channel. It's pretty nuts. He's a
yeah.
workhorse, but he made a good decision as far as, well, if he feels called to that. Because earlier on in his channel was a lot more just like music. He kind of pivoted to Christian topics and kind of popular culture and stuff, and he's really found a niche
Anish.
for himself. So yeah, I really like him. Like how he tackles
Oh, he's a very
stuff.
eloquent speaker.
Yeah,
He knows how to get his thoughts out there and get them good. Like even in the podcast he did with Lecrae, the one on his channel, I did watch that episode. He was out talking Lecrae, and Lecrae is hard to out talk. So I mean, yeah, Ruslan's he's very good at getting all of his thoughts out as clearly as possible. Ruslan for president, then.
yeah. Like I
No,
get I get why people might get rubbed the wrong way by him, but I really liked his content and most of his takes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was though. He's a hip hop stable. If you know CHH, you know who Ruslan is, right? I got the
Yeah.
juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like for me, I got the juice will always be up there. You know, as one of those legendary songs.
That's got to be top 20, surely.
Yeah, it really is a good. It's got the
What
perfect
about?
flows.
I need to add
Oh,
that to my playlist. Actually,
yeah.
yeah, I love that song.
Never mind. Sometimes I play old songs I used to listen to when I was a kid. Not hip hop, just like stuff I heard on the radio. I'm probably gonna say names you don't know, like "Never Alone" by Barlow Girl, or these are Christian CCM from the radio from the early 2000s. Britt Nicole, Group
Uh,
One Crew. I play those, and sometimes I'm like, wow, I had it so good with the music because I'm shocked that they even played those on Christian radio because Christian radio these days is so diluted and watered down and it all sounds the same. All of it. It's like when they play a Forrest Frank song, it sounds like, oh, they're being rebellious, right? Because a Forrest Frank song might have a kick drum or something on it. But back then, they used to play Skillet on the radio. Skillet, like rock and roll. They used to play hard rock and roll on Christian radio. They just don't do that anymore. I
yeah,
don't know. Maybe it offended some people because it sounded too edgy or something. But it's shocking.
probably just the soccer mums and stuff that
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So okay, I have a very specific question for you. From all the videos you've made, right? New ones, old ones, what do you have any like experience of making a video that was your favorite? Like one that sticks out to you?
Experience. The Indie Tribe one was quite an
Oh,
experience for a number
yeah,
of
after
reasons.
hearing you getting immortalized in the intro of the Indie Tribe video.
So, that's the whole thing, eh? So, you know how they had a falling out with their like previous manager.
Yeah.
Well, so I believe it's the same lady. She was talking to me like a month before that project came out. So I was gonna make a video on the project, and so I had that project for a month before it came out, and I was making a video on it, which is I think it's called like the truth about Indie Tribe or something like that. So I make the video, and then I preview it on Instagram or like a little trailer, and then like the day before it comes out, and then I think I got a message from Michael or something. Yeah, maybe Michael about down in communication between them and the manager, or expectations, I
Yeah.
guess. So it kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Not that the artist would be upset, but just I kind of got set up, to put out a video, and then I had to wait, a couple of days or
Mm.
whatever. That also reminds me, I think in uh 2017 was it? When did What Up RG get signed?
Um I think that was late 2017, but I think they announced it 116 day 2018. I
No,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Not
So
sure.
because in New Zealand I can see songs early,
Yeah. Lucky
because
you.
it's and I looked at What Up RG's, I saw a later song on there, and at the bottom, where it's got copyright and whatnot, I had Reach Records, and that was before anything was announced. So I was like, oh, so I made a video about it before the song had even come out.
Yeah.
And then I
That's
think,
awesome.
yeah, but then I think Mike Howe actually messaged me then as well, saying that, people were upset or whatever. So I think I might have taken it down. I think I also did the same thing with KFU actually as well. I didn't. I don't think I got any messages about that, but I can't remember. Maybe I think it might have been a EP or something here came out before he had joined Reach, and maybe there was some like copyright thing saying that it was by Reach Records, but it hadn't been announced or something
Yeah.
like that. So I guess I kind of leaked that. But yeah, those would probably be most memorable videos. I think I really enjoy making the top 10 artists of 2018 videos. Like I love making intros and stuff. Uh,
I think that's why your channel was so popular because your intros they always were done so well that they hooked the viewer in. I mean, that's what I remember from your channels. Your
well,
hey yo, welcome to round two. Yeah.
well, that's what I thought, but I've gone away from doing that now because the retention curve on analytics, it's like you can't really do intros anymore. Back in the
I've
day,
been learning that. I've been learning
yeah,
that.
back in the
This generation has too short of an attention span. You gotta say what you're saying immediately, or they leave.
yeah, I guess partly that, but then I guess there's so many stats that we can see now. Like I assume people would be, caught up in that. Yeah, it's quite a big drop for some of those older top 10 videos. I mean, they did well view wise just because of search and stuff, but yeah, you have to be pretty intentional because it's also very competitive now. Like, there's so many really, really good videos like vying for your attention. So yeah, you gotta make the thumbnail a certain way, and then first 5 seconds, people have gotta like know that it's about what the thumbnail and title
Yeah,
show. Which I'm still not the greatest at that, so I've been like, I guess, learning a lot even in the last few days. Like, I want to make the next video really good, but yeah, kind of just brainstorming. The next video might be similar to a topic we were talking about a little earlier
hmm
about when NF kind of left Christian hip hop. Uh, that
yeah.
might be my next one.
And that would be a great video because for some reason, like anything with NF, anything, it's just like because he's got a very dedicated fan base, an extremely dedicated fan base. They're just like, I mean, I made a video once talking about Anthony Fantano's making. He's a music critic. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
familiar
I
with
know
him.
who Anthony
Yeah, he
is.
mentioned
Yeah.
something about the song Hope, and so I made a video about it and it got 700 views and I don't get 700 views easy. So, I mean, just anything with NF really just blows out of the water. So you with your high sub already like I mean even though it's not what it once was, you with your already high subscriber count and all that, I think that would be a good video.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe, like, I've been researching for it a bit, and I looked on his channel, and he's almost got like 10 mil subs, and I was like, what? I couldn't believe how. I mean, unless a lot of subs at least on, and his average views are nuts. But yeah, I mean, I understand why he's got a kind of, I guess you could say, cult fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 2016, 2017, 2018. I was quite into him. I think it's because I feel like it's good music if you're depressed, but once you kind of get out of that, then it's just like you're just reliving being depressed again.
I
Um,
think it has to do with like your age and musical taste. When you're younger, you definitely lean towards NF. But I've noticed that like for me, I was really into NF. I mean, obviously during Perception and stuff like that. But I
yeah.
was like the height of my being into NF was the search. I listened to him during his Clouds the mixtape and then Happy, I guess I was or not Happy, Hope. I was excited for the album during Hope, but then once I heard it like boo, um now I'm just kind of like disillusioned with NF. I mean, I still will listen to him, and I'll appreciate, if he gives us something good. But as far as, like being a super fan of him, no, that's not me anymore, because now I'm into alternative or lyrical, or all this stuff. So it has to do with age and taste. So you're right.
Yeah, I mean, age and just where you're at in life. Um, yeah, it can affect your taste a lot. Um, yeah, but yeah, I still respect him as an artist. I think
Yeah.
thinking like listening to a few of the songs back again, it is very, you know, um,
One note.
Eminem like. So yeah, or as Eminem said, what do you say, NFing clone or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I remember when I first heard that song. I think that's which is that? The Ringer. That's it.
yeah,
It's funny though with NF, with Eminem, excuse me, how like Eminem is like still vying for a huge amount of respect, because his albums have kind of fallen off a little bit. Like the death of Slim Shady. I'm not gonna lie, I heard Houdini, and that song was everywhere. It was all over TikTok, it was all over Instagram. I never liked it. And the only reason that I know it so well is because I've heard that same exact 10 seconds of it play over and over, the abra abra cadabra, which is a sample from an old song anyways. So like honestly, it's not that good.
I mean, I probably can't speak to Eminem as much because I wasn't that into him growing up. So
Mhm.
and then now he's kind of just a older version of himself. Yeah. But what do you think about? I guess you could call it maybe rage, like hip hop rage music,
Oh,
or like Yeats, Playboy Carti,
I
um,
knew that was
Ken
coming.
Ken Carson, all those kind of. I know there's been a couple of Christian artists that have kind of tried to make that kind of music. Like I think KC made a song that kind of popped off a little bit down that vein. But what do you think of that kind of style of music?
Honestly, once again, I was having a conversation with that same friend that I mentioned earlier, and he mentioned Playboy Cardi. And I said, like, I don't mess with Playboy Cardi, like, and I'm not talking about like the content of the lyrics or, oh, he's a Satanist. No, I just don't like love his music. I feel like he can get a little bit too repetitive for me. Like once you've heard 1 second of a Playboy Cardi song, you've heard pretty much most of them. He's definitely always got high production value, and I mean the vocals are definitely very interesting always. um,
Yeah,
but
like a
but
chipmunk
like
voice.
as much as like lyrical content, right? And the value of what he's saying, there's like never like what are we talking about here? Like
Just the
it's
void.
just what Lecrae said in 2014. What are you talking about? You're talking about nothing. That's like the thing with a lot of Playboy Cardi's music. And I mean, you can say even the same thing about Yeet. A lot of the times he's just saying nonsense. What is
Yeah,
he even saying?
kind of
And
brain rot
so
music.
exactly. And so like when you flip that and try to bring it to, the Christian world, I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't immediately love it either, because it just like immediately brings my mind to Playboy Cardi and those artists, and
Yeah.
that then I start associating my feelings regarding Playboy Cardi with these Christian artists. So like one example I can think of is like Venison or Venice. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but he's like this really young. What's he just released an album? Yush.
Is this
I don't know.
a
He's
Christian artist?
Yeah, this is a Christian
Yeah.
artist. Venice. Yep. With a V. VENNI. And then the word say. And he's got this song on it called Just Listen. And I guess, like, I didn't dislike it or anything, so I added it to my library. But every time I hear it, I'm just like, this is played by Cardi. And
Yeah, I
so
mean, if
then
they're
I,
also just imitating the style and stuff as well, then yeah,
yeah, like there's
it's
this
Playboy
even
Cardi from Wish or something. But
this isn't what do you call it rage music, but like there's this guy who he's a Christian rapper and he sounds exactly like Juice World, like the same voice, the same flow, the same everything. I'm not joking. He sounds exactly. I don't know if I forgot his name. It was like Asai or something like that. I think. Yeah. Esaii. I mean, just listen to this. That's literally Juice World. Like, you're not
very
telling me that
good.
that's not Juice World. And so, like, why would I. No shade to this brother's intentions, right? This brother in Christ. But, like, why would I listen to that when I could just listen to Juice World instead? And I know, like, if there was some people who would say, like, well, as a Christian, I can't listen to secular music. Well, as a Christian, I do listen to secular music. So, like, why would I listen to this obvious attempt at a replacement when I could just listen to the original thing, which is honestly, like, I love Juice. And he's a lot like NF. I loved Juice when I was like 18, 19, 20, and I can still vibe with Juice, but like these days I'm just on a different wavelength, right? Musically,
Yeah.
I have different taste. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's just, but I get being inspired, and you, especially younger artists, they're just gonna be inspired by their favorite artists. But yeah, at least artistically, it kind of can be a bit lazy, completely copying, you know, the artist
yeah.
to a T, even their flows, inflections, instrumentals. Yes,
And
yeah.
so I think I got one more question for you that was very similar to the one you asked of me, and that was about Jersey Club. I actually made a whole commentary on it in my. I did a live reaction to Tori Deshawn's album this morning, and he has a Jersey Club song, which is that boom, 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 boom sound in music, popularized by Pink Panthers and Ice Spice and Lil
Uh,
Uzi Vert in I Just Want to Rock. You know the I Just Want to
yeah, yeah.
Rock, the one you go like this to. And so that's everywhere in CHH now. Like you cannot turn a corner without finding a song with a Jersey Club beat on it. I heard one this morning in that. There's one on Hove's album, Love Like That, on his album Cry, but the song is Love Like That. That's a Jersey Club song. Anike on her self-titled project, she's got Yahweh, which is a Jersey Club song. Once again, Tori Deshawn has one with what was it called again? Love something or Look
Love like
Like
that.
Love. Yeah, something. Let me see.
I think it's love like that.
That's the one with Hove. Tori Deshawn has
Alex
a
G.
brand new one
Oh,
though.
I think on
It's
his latest
Looking
one.
for Love. That's it. It's Looking for Love.
I haven't.
The one with Hove is Love Like That. The
Yeah,
brand new one from this morning or yesterday for you is Looking for Love.
yeah. I honestly haven't thought about it much about that sound. I didn't even know it was like called, or like if the producer or whatever was it.
Jersey Club, yeah.
Is it-
That's the name for it.
Um,
It's everywhere.
yeah. I mean, it's not really my type of music, I guess. Like even love like that. I get why it's catchy, and I think it just won an award as well. Um,
Yeah, it did.
I through that actually, I been listening to some of Alex Jean's music. It's really good actually. The latest project, it's not necessarily hip hop. Yeah, I honestly don't have too many thoughts on that. I mean, as far as like, I mean, Ice Spice and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ice Spice.
I mean, I was surprised how much longevity she did have until kind of recently.
I
Like
know she's
she
gone
stayed
like
she stayed a
nowhere.
long. What she's yeah, she stayed for a lot longer than I thought she would. because I remember. I mean, I'm on Twitter too much, so I remember when was it Munch or like the
It
one of
was
the first
Munch.
ones. I mean, I wouldn't recommend Christians to listen to her music, but yeah, yeah, I think
She's an
people,
industry plant though.
yeah,
She's a plant.
and just the what's the biblical word like hevel. It's like it's just meaningless. Um,
Oh, vain.
well, I think like
Vain.
it's I think the Hebrew word
Oh,
is it in Ecclesiastes? I think when it's talking about how everything is meaningless or something.
chasing. I mean, I just know the definitions, but I mean, chasing after the wind.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's just very vapid, just nothing there. Yeah, but yeah, I to answer your question, I can't really answer your question too much because I
Hmm.
haven't really
Yeah.
thought about it. It's probably just off hearing it. I'm probably not that into it, but
Yeah.
that's a taste thing, right?
Yeah. To me, my problem is I like Jersey Club. It's just that, like, it's everywhere now. And
Yeah,
it's one of those things that, you know how when you're watching a movie that's full of references to the current time period, when you watch it in the future, you then, and by future, I mean like maybe 30 years later, 40 years later, you go, oh, that was such a early 2000s thing. That was such a
yeah,
1970s thing. That's what Jersey Club is going to be. People are going to listen to the music and be like, that was such a 2020s thing. Like, cause it blew up literally like last year, and now it's you can't go around the corner without hearing a Jersey Club song. And like, I think Jersey Club had, it's obviously existed for a long time, cause I know there are songs like, Oblivion featuring Kid Tris by, Jeshua, I think, or JC, I don't know how to say his name, but it's a great song, and it has a small part where the beat goes into Jersey Club, but that's an old song, and I can hear that that's not solely a Jersey Club song. But nowadays, like, it's everywhere, and it's unapologetically everywhere, and like it's starting to really get on my nerves. Even Marty, who I had an interview with, he even did that for his flop era too. His Love. Why is all the Jersey Club songs called Love? Love Like You Love Me, I think. Jeez, everybody's naming them Love something. Love Like You. That was it. And it's another Jersey Club song. It's like there's so many. I'm bugged by it. That just might be a personal thing.
Circling back to the whole like top three or top five list for me, I forgot about John Keith. He's probably up there as well, all time for me. But
I think John Keith is a current, like, I love him so much. He's
yeah,
that's one of my goals. I have two goals. One, get an interview with Lecrae. Two, get an interview with John Keith. Those are my
yeah.
goals. If I ever do
I
those, I'll
mean,
die a
the
happy
John
man.
Keith one's probably like fairly in reach. I feel like he's not like so big that he wouldn't be unreal.
I've tried though. I've
Really?
tried. I DM'd him. He's seen my DMs. And I mean, he once gave me a very small response, but not with something about interviewing. But right before Eremos was gonna come out, I had like begged him on a live. I said, interview, interview, and I just kept spamming interview. And he said, interview for what? Do you want a job? And I went, no, an interview about the album. And he goes, I'm not talking about the album with anyone. Thank you. And so I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
really?
fine. So I'm just gonna wait. Get him when I get more popular. So
That's funny. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I imagine it picking messages from everyone about everything, so I can
yeah,
understand why he would want to keep his peace and like not commit to too many things.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago when I was making videos. Like, I made a video about Holby, and then I got him to video message that he recorded, and I put at the start of the video.
I don't remember that.
Um, I was going to do the same with John Keith, and then he may have agreed to it, I'm not sure, but then I know he got sick or something. That kind of never happened. But yeah, I don't know. So your kind of goat interview would be Lecrae, and then after that would it be John Keith?
Yeah, those are my wishes. I will die a very happy man if that ever happens. Thanks for watching. Thank you again, David, for agreeing to do this with me. And remember, there's only two things I know. I know that Jesus is king and that JT, moi, knows best. See you guys next time.